Riders, it's Josh from CycleHunters.com. And today we have a really sleek looking, sinister 2015 Vstar Yamaha Raider Bullet Cowl. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So this right off the bat you can see is a real stunning bike. There are some aftermarket bits and pieces we're going to get into and we'll go over. But again, this is a bike that has been around for a little bit, and people that like the choppers have maybe always wanted a chopper or something chopper-esque, but didn't want to quite deal with all the things that are associated with custom builds. This is a Yamaha. This is a production machine. This is a bike that actually can go around corners and be very comfortable, and not to mention very powerful, because it has a 1900cc motor, 113 in it. So as we get into this, you'll see there are some blemishes, but it's got a tough look with the Bullet Cowl on it. It also has a 6-degree yoke angle, 22-degree rake, custom 4-spoke wheels. It's got the 120/70/21 up front and the wide 210/40/18 in the rear. So you guys that are digging the wide tire, there you go. This one also is a little different, like I said. So you may have seen these Raiders around, but this is the Bullet Cowl edition, which that little bit of wind protection is great for the fact that if you're out on the highway rolling around and just kind of cruising, that breaks that pressure of wind on your chest, so you don't have to deal with that so much as you may on some of the other versions. So again, 1854cc motor, 113. It's air cooled, overhead valve, 4 valves per cylinder, push rod, 48-degree V-twin, and it cranks out a max torque at just 2,500 RPM and max power at 4,500 RPM. So looking at this thing right off the bat, you can see it does have the American Racing exhaust, and then it also has the Z1R custom seat with the flames, the embossed flames. Besides that, it does have the little engine guards up front, but that's pretty much it. So blemish wise, right here is a little bit. You can see the wheels are really clean. A couple little scuffs here and there, not much, a little bit. On the tank there's this like tiny little stone chip. Bar ends are good, mirror ends, both sides are good. Chrome is pretty daggone nice. There's a couple little spots right here, right there, right there, or it's the Freedom Performance exhaust. This also has the peg for your passenger. And the rear, as we get into that, little one right there. Minimal as you go the rest of the way. Now you can, if you want, you can get the backrest for these. Yamaha actually makes a very nice stock backrest that you can put on it for their aftermarket, but it's a Yamaha piece. It's pretty beefy. A couple little nicks there. But that is pretty much what you're looking at as far as any of these blemishes. Not much. Like tiny little things. Overall, it presents really well. Now up here on the reservoir with the brake fluid, you're pretty much going to see that just about on every bike. So when anybody's doing anything with brake fluid, you got to be super careful. You know, when we do that stuff, we're typically wrapping it because we know that stuff drips out and you don't want it to get on paint for sure, and it will eat paint pretty much immediately. So it's something that you really want to be careful of. Here we go. See that little one right there? But overall, you know, like I said, it's in really nice shape. Now the color, it is a black with a bit of a metal flake. It's kind of tough to tell, you know, inside. When you get this thing outside, it does have a little bit of a scintillation because of the metal flake in it. It's not a thick one. It's subtle because it's trying to stick with that whole real kind of sinister look. It definitely has it. This one also has up front little USB radio, your plug-in. But other than that, again, pretty much the bike is primarily a stock machine. It also has these LED signals on it for that custom look. They're nice because they are a little smaller. They're super bright because LEDs, you know how those are. Those are very, very bright. But if you're a person, like I said, that maybe had wanted a chopper or something a little more custom looking, but didn't want to deal with all the problems that you normally associate with custom builds, well, this is a Vstar. This is a Yamaha. And Star Motorcycles have been making bikes for a long time. They're great machines. They're very, very good on the road. Solid bikes. You can turn them, and it's not this big lumbering machine going through a corner. So it actually has got some pep to it in terms of the, you know, it's almost a 1900cc motor, so you're talking a lot of power. So if it's you and a passenger and you got to get past a truck and you're on the highway, you're not going to have problems at all. You're going to jump on that throttle, get past the truck, get back in your lane, and just cruise. You're going to be in really, really great shape. Controls are pretty simple. You have high beam, low beam, your turn signal, your horn. Nice big horn. Your on off. And your starter. This is for, I believe, your hazards. Let's see here. I don't think I have to pull the clutch in for this one. We're going to find out in a second. Your cluster on the tank is pretty simple. You have your odometer, which this has 27,255 miles. You have your clock, you have your tach, and then your fuel gauge, your neutral light, and then there are some other lights, your gas light, your engine, turn signals, and then your high beam, low beam indicator, which the bike does need to be on for that. So again, simple stuff. You don't need anything complicated. But let's give this puppy a little bit of a jolt to the starter and see what she sounds like. A subtle, it sounds like a big motor for sure. It's got that subtle rumble. But I know when I hit that and I crank on it, it's going to crack a little bit. Sounds really good. Sounds really, really good. Oh yeah. Low beam, high beam, low beam, high beam. See right there. Oh man, that sounds really, really beefy. Really beefy. Oh my goodness. So I think we have to have the bike on for the turn signals to work here. So let's see. Oh. Turn it on again. Check. Oh no. Okay. So here is, this is going to be left front. Nice indicator. LED. Left rear. Cancel. Just cancel it by pushing it in. Right rear and right front. Brake light. It's going to be foot brake. And this is going to be handbrake. Really, really great shape. Not a whole lot of mileage on it. Got the custom seat and the pipes. Get your radio up here. Ready for a cruise. These are belt driven too, so you know it's got that look. With that big pulley there, it looks great. You can also see we have our battery tender lead on the bike. So every one of our bikes gets a 48-point checklist. So our goal is to make sure that every single one of the bikes that we get, that we service, goes through the checklist so that it is as close to 100% as we can possibly make it. So if the bike needs it, it gets it. You can see on this one, it's got a lot of meat on those tires. They're pretty much new. Ton of meat. It's in great shape. So we're checking things like the charging system, oil and filter. You know, those are basic things for us. We really go through them. We just want you to enjoy the ride as much as possible because, you know, when you spend money on a bike, especially a pre-owned machine, you want it to just be as perfect as you can because you don't want to be spending time in a toolbox or carrying stuff with you thinking that you're going to have issues. And that's a big, big thing for us. So that when you get it, it's ready to rock and roll. Just put the key in, thumb the starter, and get going down the road. That is a gorgeous, stunning machine for sure. It's got that low profile too. It's just a good looking bike. Just a good looking bike. So if you're digging the 2015 Yamaha Vstar Raider Bullet Cowl, give us a call. It's 717-273-1809. You can see our full list of current inventory at www.cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We do have some financing options available. Aftermarket warranties available. We can ship bikes. In some cases, we can deliver them. It really just comes down to what is it that we need to do in order to accommodate you so that when you open your garage in the morning or in the evening or whenever it's time to ride, that's staring at you, begging for a ride, and you can't wait to get out there and just go get your wind therapy. It's all about riding, enjoying it as much as you possibly can. And that's a good looking bike. Yeah. It's tough not to like that. Yep. Well, until the next bike, happy riding.
Remember to hit like and subscribe and ding that notification bell for updated content. Thank you.